Hey everyone, welcome to another video. Today we are visiting Winchester. So Winchester is a small city in Hampshire, south of England, and home to a fabulous Norman cathedral, Winchester Cathedral. So that was built by the Normans shortly after the invasion of 1066, which we all know about, and I think this construction started in 1079. And you can see it's just a stone's throw from the high street. You can see the high street winding up there on the right, and the statue of King Alfred the Great, who was there sort of prior to the Norman invasion. In fact, he made Winchester the capital of England, and it's about 15 miles inland from Southampton and about 60 miles southwest of London. So London was was the capital of Roman Britain, or what they called Britannia, and London was called Londinium. But Alfred made Winchester the capital. It's been continuously settled for a couple of thousand years or so. It's located on the River Itchen, which flows out to the English Channel at Southampton. Here is the statue. If you ever see a picture of Alfred the Great, then very often it's this picture here. He of burning cakes fame. Lots of historic buildings around you can go and visit. This is Wolvesey Castle, the ruins of, and not to be confused with Winchester Castle, which King Alfred built with a wall around the entire city. Nothing left of that now except for a few gates, like this is Westgate, the Westgate entrance to the city. Traffic doesn't go through that now. It's very narrow, so there's a road that bends round it. But of course the place was, first of all, it was the Celtic Belgae, then the Romans, AD 43 onwards, and then they stayed for 350 years or so. Then the Anglo-Saxons, Saxons from sort of northwest Germany, so Wessex means West Saxons, Sussex means South Saxons. Then you had the Angles as well. You still hear that in the word in a place, East Anglia. And then you had the Jutes from Jutland, modern day Denmark. They mainly settled in Kent. So this place got a rich history, and the Romans actually called it Venta Belgarum, named after the Celtic Belgae people. Venta, like vending machine. So it was obviously a market town. And Venta Belgarum. Then the Saxons called this place Venta Chester, Chester spelt like Caesar, and eventually Venta Chester sort of became Winchester over the years, as the sort of place name got a bit corrupted. Lots of shops here. There's a market on a Saturday even today, and you've got an Ivy restaurant, nice upmarket restaurant, of course the London one, frequented by celebrities and pop stars and whatnot. And there's a Rick Stein fish restaurant as well, and you can see this is looking down from the top, from the West Gate. See the clock at about the middle of the high street there, and we can see the clock here as it was in the times of the old horse and cart and push bike there, I can see. So it hasn't changed much in terms of the proportions and the buildings. Another look at the West Gate here, and the West Gate's very close to where Winchester Castle used to stand. In fact, you can take a walk around the sort of ruins of Winchester Castle and go and visit, which it was closed this particular day that we went, maybe due to the the current situation with the pandemic and everything. You can see the sort of bricks, not bricks, but the sort of stones that put the castle together behind that blue sign there. But Oliver Cromwell, after he sort of chopped Charles I's head off, he had lots of castles removed, And this is the Great Hall that you're looking at just there. That's all that's left of Winchester Castle. And supposedly it was the sort of location of the mythical Arthurian Round Table, you know, King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. That may have been here. And in the Great Hall today, you can go and visit, and you've got a replica of the Round Table up on the wall there. It looks like a dartboard. It's quite interesting to go and have a look at. So this is a map of the old sort of walled city. See the cathedral in black shading right in the middle. You can see the Winchester Castle at on the left-hand side on the map there, west side. And right next to the Great Hall, we have the law courts these days, and that lovely tree outside. There's a couple of trees actually, one fantastic like that, and the other one next to it is completely dead. These are the western headquarters of the Princess of Wales Royal Regiment, Queens and Royal Hampshire. Okay, Hampshires. Yeah, so nice. You've got St Swithin's up the road, a magnificent school with amongst some lovely grounds, and you've got other sort of Norman Gothic architecture like St Thomas's Church here. Some fantastic architecture. And of course the Normans, you know, they spoke French, but the Normans are really just a euphemism for Norsemen or Vikings. So really, you know, our country has a pretty checkered history. Vikings, Anglo-Saxons coming from Denmark and Germany. Those places didn't exist as such in them days, of course. Places were normally just regions, like for example the Romans were from Rome. They weren't Italian. So this is a bit more Norman architecture. This is the arch that goes into the grounds of the cathedral, and here we go. We get our first look at the side of the cathedral. We've got the priory just there. There's 3 arches. And it's quite a nice day, bit of blue sky. People were sort of out having their lunch on the green, enjoying a bit of the nice weather. And this was in early May 2021. And we'll take a quick look at the front here now. Just give an idea of the size. One of the longest cathedrals in Europe. Of course, just up the road we have Salisbury Cathedral, which is one of the has the tallest spire in the whole of Europe. Yeah, pretty nice, magnificent. Lots of people having their lunch, as I say. There's about 30 litter bins just around this kind of area, and they were all completely full. They must fill up in minutes. In fact, it must be a full-time job for the council to clear these bins away. In fact, you can see a guy taking care of a bin there. People out doing a bit of shopping in the high street. So we're just sort of parallel now. We're in the high street. This fella painting. You can see the clock in his picture there. We're walking towards the east. We have Spider-Man on a bike doing something for charities. There's a few parks around as well, dotted around with some nice wildlife. A little stream or brook here. Probably a tributary of the River Itchen. There's some minnows in there. I don't know if you can quite make them out on the camera there. So back down, bottom of the high street, we have the famous King Alfred statue.
Quite noisy though, wouldn't it?
Little windows right close to the river there. Must be a really noisy place to be. Anyway, that's Winchester, so it's a nice little place to visit, lots of history to get your teeth into. So I hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.